No Excuse: The Power of Self-Discipline, written by a New York Times bestseller author Brian Tracy. Part 7, Chapter 3, Self-Discipline and Responsibility. The individual who wants to reach the top in business most appreciate the might and force of habit. He must be quick and to break those habits that can be break him and instead to adopt those practices that will become be habits that help him achieve the success he desires. J. Patel Grady. Your ability and willingness to discipline yourself to accept personal responsibility for your life and your essential to happiness, health, success, achievement, and personal leadership. Accepting responsibility is one of the honest all disciplines, but without it, no success is possible. The failure to accept responsibility and about attempt to force responsibility for things in your life that make you unhappy unto other people. In circumstances, the solutions completely disparate causes and effect. Undermine your character, worship your rebels, and destroy your humanity. They lead making illness excuse. My great revelation. When I was 21, I was living in a tiny apartment and working as a concession laborer. I had to get up at 5 a.m. so that I could take their visit to work in order to there by 8 a.m. I don't get home until 7 p.m. Tired out from carrying consultation materials all day. I was making just enough money to get by and I had no car, almost no savings and just enough clothing for my needs. I had no radio and or televisions. It was the middle of the cold winter when the temperature at means 35 degrees Fahrenheit, so I seldom went out in evening. Instead, if I had your energy, I say, in my small apartment, at my little table, my kitchen nook and read. One evening late at night, as I was sitting there by myself at the table, it suddenly dawned on me that that is my life. That life is not was for something else. The games was on, and I was the main character as in a play. I was like a facial half going of my life phase. I looked at myself and around at my small apartment, and I considered the fact that I had not granted from high schools. The only work that I was qualified to do was normal labor. I earned just enough money to pay my basic expense, and I had a very little flat over the ad on the end of each month. I suddenly know that unless I sensed, nothing else was going to sense. No one else was going to do it for me. In retail, no one else cared. I realized at the moment that from that the day forward I was completely responsible for my life and for everything that happened to me. I was responsible. I claimed to no longer blame to my solution on my different childhood or mistake I had made in that past. I was in sense. I was in the driver's seat. That was my life, and if I don't to do something to sense it, it will go on like this infinitely by the simple force of interior. This revolution changed my life. I was never the same again from the moment on. I accept more and more responsibility for everything in my life. I accept responsibility for the doing my job better than before rather than doing only the minimum that was necessary to avoid getting fired. I accept responsibility for my fitness, my health, and responsibility and my failure. The very next day, I went down to local bookstore at my lunch break and again forced and participated in the buying books with informational ideas and the lessons that was cloud me help. I decide my life to show self-improvement I to continuous learning in every was possible. For the rest of my life, business life, read of the present moment. Whenever I wanted to needed to learn something to help me, I have returned to learning, to reading, to listening to audio programs and attending courses and seminars. I found that you could learn anything you need to learn in order to access any goal and you set for yourself. Over time, I learned that fully 80% for the population never accept complete responsibility for their lives. They continuously complain, criticize, make excuses, they blame other people to things in their lives about which they are not having. The continuous of this way of thinking, however, can be discouraged. They can stable all helps for success and happiness later in life. From childhood to maturity. When you are growing up from an easily egg, you become continued to see yourself as not responsible for any your life. That is natural and neutral. When you are a child, your parents are in search. They make all your decisions. They decide what food you will eat, what clothes you will wear, what toys you will play with, what home you will live in, what school you will attend, and what assignments you will engage in the during your simple time. Because you are young, innocent, and unknowing, you do when they want you to do. You have little choice or control. As you grow up, however, you begin to make more and more of your own discuss in each of those years. But besides your clarity programming, your confident absolutely feel that someone else is still responsible for your life. That there is still someone else out there who can or should take care of you. Most people grow up believing that it is someone goes worrying someone else is responsible. Someone else is to blame, someone else to clarity, someone else to the villain and 30 are the victim. As a result, most people make more and more expense for the thing in their lives, past and present, that make them unhappy. Get over the mistake your presence made. If your present citizen you went got angry with you for mistakes you made when you are growing up, you begin to ask constantly assume that Sharam you will feel and your presence finished your constantly or emotionally for doing or not doing something that pleased or displayed them. You lived in fear and in great. When your presence wealth held their love to punish for you or not doing something any demanded, you might have grown out with the deep feelings of drought, unworthless, and undeservedness. All those native feelings of cloud they encourage to make you feel like a victim, like you were not responsible for yourself or your life on you become an adult. The most common feeling that we have not as adults and you have been raised in critical home improvement is that feeling that I am not good yet. Because of this feeling we compare ourselves unfortunately to others. We think that other people who seem to be happier or more confident are better than us. We develop feeling or incredibly that is the become an emotional trap. The fatal fallacy. If we think for any reasons that others are better than us, we unconsciously assume that we must be aware than they are. If they weigh worth more than we are, as assume that we must be worthless. This feeling of insecurity and worthlessness lays at the root of most personality problems in our lives as well as most political and social problems in our world, both nationality and incurred. To incur those causes feeling of dread of worthlessness that have been enlisted in us to their result and destructive Christian in childhood. We loathe our world, other people, and someone in any part of your life with the ways we are unhappy and disconnected. Our first response is to look around and ask who is to blame. Most religions touch the concept in sin, which states that whenever something goes right, someone is to blame, someone has done something bad, someone is guilty, someone must be punished. That wild idea of great and punishment ideas to evil, increasing feeling or anger, resentment and impersonality, an attitude or of irresponsibility. Our counts today are closed with thousands of people demanding readers and payment for something that went wrong in their lives. Blocked up by admirers, platinum lawyers, people get to count determining commissions, and every Thammas who are completely at fault for what happened. It's only is they are the fault. People don't want to accept responsibility. People spill hot coffee on thumb-laps and other sun-fact restaurant that sold to them are caffeine in the first place. People got drink and drive up the road and then turn around and see and manufacture of their 13 years old car they were driving. People climb to on a September and other land offer to fur. Filling that ground, they then sue the latter manufacturer for their increasingly. In the case, people are adapting the responsibility for their own behaviors by blaming someone else, making excuses and then determining completions. Eliminating negative emotions. The common determiner of people is the desire to be happy. In its simplest terms, happiness acquires from the absence of negative emotions. Where there are no negative emotions, all that is left is possible emotions. Therefore, the elimination of negative emotions is the great business in life if you truly wish to be happy. There are regardless or negative emotions, although is the most common are great replacement every jewelry for an honestly. They all ultimately boil down into feeling to anger, recited in their word, loyal and unword. Anger is desired inwardly when you detail it to rather than expressing it contradictorily to others. Anger is detected outwardly when you criticize or attack other people. I invite you to listen to the next chapter of this book. Thanks for listening.